Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Ben.
And I'm Chris.
And we are now covering the Carlton team analysis.
We are.
This
Looking
episode
forward to this one.
is sponsored by Corona.
Coronas.
Label out.
Yep. That was a terrible cheers. And
Sponsored by Chris's fridge.
Excellent. Just the random beers left over from Christmas Day, actually, which is good. So, Carlton. Where do we start?
We did get asked to be
I suppose
kind.
we start at the bottom.
Oh, that's worse than my jokes.
That was good.
That's not.
There are a lot of Carlton fans. We've got to be a little bit sensitive towards them.
Who said to be kind, Chris?
K Shep 46 says, please be kind to Carlton.
Okay.
So we'll try for you, mate. We'll see how we go. Look, they are SuperCoach relevant. And that's one of the good things about Carlton this year, is that if you're going to talk about anything positive, it's their SuperCoach and the way they play there.
I do agree, except I feel like their dealings with Adelaide kind of put the hex on them a little bit, Chris.
Yep, fair enough.
Well, they traded away their switching a first round picks for next year. And once they did that, they've got the injury curse from Adelaide.
Yeah.
Doherty, who was going to be very highly
that was upsetting.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Sam Doherty going down with an ACL in pre-season after coming back from last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad because, I know Liberatore's done it a couple of times and I feel sad for Libba because he'll no longer be able to do the Dougie. But,
well, here's the interesting stat is, and it sucks for sport, and this is why there needs to be a ton of research put into it, but with any ACL surgery from a professional sporting athlete, there's a 25% chance that they'll do it again.
Yep.
That's a high percentage chance that you'll do your knee again at any point in time, which is why people like, what's his Alex, whatever.
You got Menzel, the guy from GWS, the big forward.
Yep. Alex Johnson.
Patton as well.
Yep,
Johnson.
Continually doing knees, and it really sucks. And I really hope we see.
Johnson.
I really hope we see Sam Doherty do his best again, because he had an absolutely stellar couple of years before. Injury curse strikes.
The worst case scenario, he's a coach in waiting.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fair enough.
That's his fallback.
He's probably just
he's
just doing a lot of study. Maybe playing a lot of Fortnite. Who knows? He's doing the Jamie Elliott.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look, team overview. So look, it was looking promising for their draft period, but there's nothing really great to say about their season. To be fair, 2 wins for the entire year made Carlton really the easy beats of the competition. The only thing that they can really hang their hat on, and this is for UK Shep, is you effectively ended Essendon's season in round. They missed the 8-1 game and considerable percentage to Geelong, but that one game was losing to Carlton. See what I did there? I give them a compliment, but I tear them straight down. I tear them straight down. Look, they didn't have a single game loss of under 10 points. So they literally just got battered in every game. Their average losing margin was 49 points, including 3 losses by over 100. Their average losing margin was 49 points. There is nothing, unfortunately, good to say. They are literally a rabble.
I feel like the longer we do this, Chris, the louder you start to speak.
It's true.
It could be the beers.
Yeah, it probably is. You have a point there. Now, draw difficulty, they didn't really get a great draw.
You follow that up by yelling now.
That's what I do. They have the 11th easiest draw, so they're not even mid-table with their draw. They've had a pretty tough one. They play Richmond twice, so there's 2 wins, lock it up for Richmond. They play Sydney twice, lock that up. Dogs twice, who knows what the Dogs this year.
Chris, you're very quick to lock that Sydney win in.
Yep, I am.
Gold Coast beat them.
So what?
Was that the anomaly? Okay,
yeah, right.
Sorry, go on.
It's the exception, not the rule.
Continue.
And then they play St Kilda and Gold Coast. And I do envisage St Kilda being a lot better this year than they were last year.
So do I.
So really the only other team that they should beat, well, hopefully, is Gold Coast. I think that they will be better than Gold Coast. So we'll see what we go there. They've got 4 6-day breaks, which is low by league standard, but they have a really tough start with Richmond, Port and Sydney in the first 3 rounds before Gold Coast and the Dogs. They could very well be 0-5 and this train just keep going. Like, it's not getting any better for them, that's for sure.
I see things starting to turn around. They got some youth finally. It'll be kind of like what Brisbane produced, not this season, maybe the one before. I think they're about a year or so behind Brisbane at this point.
I reckon they're 2 years behind Brisbane.
I think they'll start to do hopefully similar to what we did this year and start to be more competitive.
If they manage to get Josh Kelly next year, then it'll change their seasons for sure. We'll see how that goes.
They couldn't even land Dylan Shield, and he liked them.
Yeah. Anyway, so their bye round is bye round 14. Not great from an upgrade standpoint. So you really got to start with the players in Carlton. You can't really, plan to have them in round 15.
Yes, which only leaves a player or two.
Yeah, exactly right. And the off-season...
Outside of rookies.
Off-season that they recruited in Mitch McGovern, who I don't think is going to be very Supercoach relevant. Alex Fasolo, Will Setterfield, and Nick Newman. So, of those, Will Setterfield and Nick Newman become Supercoach relevant. I don't think Alex Fasolo at all is, and Mitch McGovern, I don't think either. They only lost draft picks, so it wasn't like they lost anyone of note. We've got Swizz here says Blues to win 3 games, Suns by 2, and they'll steal another one. Probably Essendon. Oh, mate, I tell you what, it would be hilarious. If Essendon falter this year and don't make the 8, it'd be riots. There will be riots.
Yeah.
And I would laugh very much. Anyway, so...
it'd be funnier if they made it in, they came 5th, and then they got knocked out first one. Yeah, favourites. Big favourites.
Now, they do have a lot of good rookies that are Supercoach relevant, so we'll quickly go through those as well.
Yes.
Sam Walsh, I think everyone knows who Sam Walsh is.
Yes, and Ben, the forward. McKay?
Harry McKay.
Harry McKay. So his brother's Ben. He said Sam Walsh, awesome, get on him for Supercoach. Lock him up.
Well, he'll play round 1. I don't think there's any question that he'll play.
To be fair, I can't trust him, Harry, to play AFL, let alone to make Supercoach calls. But
I'm excited with Harry this year. I think he can go places.
I think he's interesting. The better thing is with Sam Walsh is because they do have the last bye, you can really maximise the profitability and keep him playing, and then
through the buys and then
upgrade him.
Yeah,
it's the perfect position for that. The problem is that the number 1 pick, as far as Supercoach relevance goes in standard, it's like a hit and miss ratio where they're good once every couple of years, 2 or 3 years. You might get one that's actually profitable, like McGrath, profitable.
Well, Wiedering was really, really good. But
past mark, Wiedering was not too bad.
Early he was great. Great numbers.
McGrath was good. Cam Rayner, Sprainer, whoever selected him, we told you to avoid.
Yeah.
No good. But Sam Walsh...
You're paying for it.
You are.
But I think with Walsh you might be safe.
Yes. But then Callum Mills was good back in the day. That was good to have a couple in there. So I think this year Sam Walsh could be a very good option, particularly if you want to put a little bit more money on top of a Bennell.
Yeah. So here's just some random stats about Sam Walsh. So he's 184 centimetres and 74 kilos. So he definitely needs to hit the gym, but I think he'll be fine there. He's got elite skills and elite running ability. 2nd in the yo-yo test, 3rd in the 2-kilometre time trial. So he's fit as a fiddle.
Chris, the last time he hit Jim, he ended up in court.
That's classic Jim. Always getting knocked out. Great leadership qualities. So he captained the Geelong Falcons, co-captained the Geelong Falcons, captained Vic Metro, was named the captain in the All-Australian team. Averaged 32 disposals in the TAC Cup, averaged 29 disposals at the Under-18 Carnival. And by Champion Data is listed as the most consistent midfielder for the last 5 years at draft level. So, yeah, I think he's one that he might, and I don't know how we'll go. I think you'd be hard-pressed to not start him. There'd have to be a lot of rookie mids that outperform him in, the JLT to not start him.
Yeah, exactly cheap options that'll get a gig.
Yeah. So I do think that he's one that actually will come to fruition and be really good. So
normally I'm not too keen on expensive rooks, but I think I might for this one.
Now, speaking of inexpensive rooks, Liam Stocker.
Yes,
so the one
keen.
that I think most people have him again.
Most people heard about him as well.
Yep.
They rated him as a top 6 mid or top 6 pick in the draft. Ended up sliding to pick 18.
Sliding.
Yeah, pick 18. They traded Adelaide for their pick to get their man. So they're keen on him, and he's cheap, Chris.
Yes. Now, apparently Richmond were keen, and that's why they traded into that pick. So we'll see. It doesn't look like it's going to work out well for them. That pick swap thing seems like it's going to be really bad.
I think it'll still be... Well, yeah, I think it'll still be a fairly good win, depending on depends on how Adelaide do.
It was Adelaide, wasn't it? Sorry,
it depends. Richmond. No, it depends on how Adelaide do. No, Richmond were keen on him, but they had to trade in to position themselves ahead. But if Adelaide do really well and can't do really bad, I think it works out like 8 place difference. So if they do bad and Adelaide do well, it's going to make a loss for them. But yes.
Someone's just commenting on our Twitch stream, and I don't think it's anything to do with Twitch. Anyway, now some awesome stats about Liam Stocker. He's an AFL ready player, 183 centimetres and 83 kegs. So the guy's built like a unit, which is good. He missed the under-18 championships with a broken jaw, and a shoulder injury saw him miss the draft combine. So maybe that's why he slid. They rated him a lot earlier, but not a lot of people got to see him or didn't know what he was about. He averaged 22 disposals, including 5 clearances and 4 tackles in the TAC Cup. 13 contested possession average. So most of his possessions are contested. So that goes to show the sort of player he is. He won the Morris Medal for the TAC Cup. He lacks legitimate pace, but he's likened to a Jack Steele. So tackles, inside ball winner,
I like guys that
playing under Cripps.
I like guys that can get their own ball, particularly early picks, because otherwise you end up being like a James Aish and rely on people getting the ball for you.
Yeah.
And then you struggle more because you need your opponent, like you need your teammates to win the ball and hit you on the outside instead of actually winning the ball yourself. Yeah, so they struggle more.
So right now in my starting side, so see how we go there. The other 2 picks are pretty irrelevant, but Finn Burrows-Dwyer, 190cm forward, project player, 74 kilos, just considered to have really good agility. We'll see how he goes. And Ben Silvani, obviously the name needs no introduction, but he's 2 inches taller than his brother Jack, and he's 196 centimetres. So he's fairly tall. True key position prospect who is pretty raw, but plays at either end. He had a serious thumb injury that left him to only play 3 games this year. So 84 kilos though, 196 centimetres. I don't think he's going to get ahead of McKay or any of the other projects that they've got coming through, but he could play this year.
Was that Stocker grew up in China?
Also hasn't played AFL. What? He grew up in China? Oh, as long as others.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So maybe he's got a Chinese name we can call him by.
Or just put it on the accent. Stocker.
Now, the other things that they've got... What? That's like the Asian accent.
I don't know. I'm not very good.
Who knows? Anyway, so they did obviously get as well Hugh Goddard. So good that he obviously got another shot at AFL level. I do think that he's got more to give.
He may get a shot now too.
And I think he might. So
he may do.
He's cheap. I think he's only 160k in SuperCoach. 196 centimetres and 95 kegs.
Yeah, he had a bad run with injury, but if he gets a look in defence, he could be worth the option, I think.
Averaged 19 disposals per game in the last 6 rounds of the VFL in 2018 and earned a senior recall in round 22. But someone to watch in the JLT. So Hugh Goddard on my watch list.
Yeah, Carlton defence will be a bit funny and fickle. I mean, you got Marchbank, you got Plowman, a whole range of players. I think you just need to keep an eye on who they're using anyway. So.
And lastly, I just want to have a look at Tom Bugg as well. So he played forward or back at GWS. He's that niggly player that can get under someone's skin, and they think that he's going to be a full pocket pressure player, which doesn't really bode great for SuperCoach, but someone to keep an eye on. So I
find it funny how people are saying, "Oh, let's see who takes Doherty's role," but Doherty didn't play at all last year, so really they've just added more defence depth.
Yeah.
It's still like who's going to get the most SuperCoach profitable role, but it's not like who's taking Doherty's role because they've just played a whole 12 months without Doherty. So it's, I'd be interested to see the shift in how they want to play the game and whether they're going to be more offensive from their defence line.
I don't think they can be. I would love them to...
Shut up shop for another year?
Just, help their percentage out and not get spanked by an average of 49 points a game.
Yep.
The supporters, I really feel bad for Carlton supporters, but then I don't. Honestly, they just need something to hang their hat on. They're lucky they've got Patrick Cripps.
Is that the Collingwood in you talking?
It's possibly the Collingwood in me talking.
It's funny, my old man hates Carlton, and not because of anything. I actually quite like Carlton. Carlos, our friend that passed away, big Carlton fan. So I've actually been...
Carlos.
They've been my second team as, taking on board for a friend of mine. But my old man hates them because they were tanking to get low picks, and now they're still horrible. So...
Just let it be known, tanking does not work.
I
think that's one thing we've learned over Melbourne and Carlton.
Yes.
Tanking does not work. So, good coaching, systems, try and win as much as possible and creating winning
and
culture.
Get the ball into Charlie Curnow's hands, guys.
Oh, dude. That guy could be anything if they would deliver the ball to him at a half-decent height that he can run onto. Just, you got me on you want to fire me up. You're talking about Charlie Curnow. Now, we will go into the players that are OSC relevant. Now, Patrick Cripps, I think, speaks for himself.
Yes.
We start off with the big dog.
I got him in the 4th round in draft.
Oh, man.
So good.
So much value last year. Now, unfortunately, this year he comes in at 648k. which makes him I think the third or fourth most expensive player this year.
Yeah, he had a cracking year. He's a contested bull.
Yeah,
and the fact that he also got so many Brownlow votes is, I think, outstanding.
I think he will win a Brownlow at some stage. I
think he's a gun.
If they won more games, he wins the Brownlow, right?
Well, he's doing it all. That good a year. He got beaten up still, and he was sore for part of it, and still scoring well. But how long can you do that?
Well,
he did have a couple of injury issues previously. So am I starting him at full price?
I think no. So here's the thing. I think he'll play more forward this year because they've got those 2 new mids that will come in and take some mid time. They wanted to play more forward last year. In the first couple of games, he got forward and leading up and taking marks and kicking goals. Now, that could really help his average, or it could hinder him, because he does get a lot of his points from clearances. So, I'm not sure how that will transition, but I would never say that starting Patrick Cripps is a bad thing to do.
No,
but I think he'll be a very, very popular SuperCoach player.
I think he's going to be too popular for me to start.
I don't know about that. K Shep says, #trust the process. Carlton draft MB with the gross pick.
What am I missing?
Oh, so do you know who Joel Embiid is?
No.
He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
He's in the talk for the MVP this year, but plays alongside Ben Simmons.
Yes.
And their whole thing is trust the process. So this is what Philadelphia did. So Philadelphia went out and they just went to the draft and went to the draft and went to the draft and got all these draft picks. The only one that's really worked out for them was Embiid now, and then last year they got 2 years ago they got Simmons. Everything else has been a bust. Every other draft pick has been a bust. So they just went and got a free agent in Jimmy Butler, and now they're competitive. So it's like, trust the process. But now we're not going to trust the process.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so also Swizz says, could Cripps be a pod over Neil?
No. He's not going to... Oh, pod. I don't think he's going to... I think they'll be in just as many teams as each other, right?
Yeah, I think after the hype this year gone, I think... Yeah, like if Cripps was 7%, I reckon I'd take it. I reckon I'd take it on. But I think he'll end up being like 15%, 20%. I think Lockie Neal will be about the same.
I mean, look, he's an uber premium. He had 5 games of 150-plus scores last year, which is just 150-plus. Like,
that's huge.
That is just insane. He had a 54 in round 11. He looked like he'd been absolutely shot in that game. And he had a 54, and we even posted like a picture of him with the Walking Dead. Like,
yeah,
that was great by Stonesy. Can he replicate his form? Yes, I think that he definitely can. It will just depend on, is it up or is it down based on his mid-minutes and mid and forward time. I think that's the only thing. You've also got players such as Sam Petrevski-Seton and Sam Fisher that Carlton have as well in that midfield that they want to get more mid-minutes into. So is that going to impact him positively or negatively? And I don't know the answer to that question. I'm hoping positively. But for that reason, it probably casts a bit of a shadow on a 650k player for me. So I'd rather, and I don't know. At this point, I'm not starting him, but I quite could.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
I wouldn't be against.
He's not in my side at the moment, but if he's low enough ownership, I would swing my way.
Yeah. The other one that is probably getting overlooked and is going to be unique this year, in my opinion, is Cade Simpson. 570k defender, so very expensive.
I'm overlooking.
It's the most expensive he's ever been, but 13 of his 14 seasons, he's averaged 92 plus, missing only 6 games in 14 years.
This sounds like the kind of write-up you'd give Brendan Goddard before he fell off the wagon.
No way. Is there pretzels nearby? Cause oh, wow. Look, I was not on the train last year because I didn't think that he would be able to have big numbers with Docky going down. I thought they were going to have someone else come in, blah, blah. It just looks like it's more of the same. It's like, okay, well, Dockety's out. Simpson, it's you. And he takes kickouts. He's the 3rd or 4th highest kickout taker in the league.
But will they do it now that they can run on and boot it as far as you can? Do you think, A, he's a bit too old to run too fast to gain those metres, and B, too old to kick it that far?
He can't kick far.
That's what I mean.
He's not a long kick.
So therefore, I think his kickouts are now redundant.
What he does do, though, which I think really helps his SuperCoach, is that he does take the small chip on offer. Takes a small chip and the handball received to kick it outside 50.
Yeah, but now you don't have to small chip. Now you can play on a kick long.
Yeah, he did play on a lot. So what I mean by that is maybe it won't have such an impact on his scoring because of the way that he handled his kickouts, because he was gaining points from them anyway.
I think he won't kick out.
So we'll see how that goes.
Well, you think about it. You can get a younger guy that can then, without having to chip it and run and do a little chip, you can just play on someone that will actually be able to get some acceleration and a long kick. they'll be able to kick the ball.
True, but
It'll go into onto the wing. And
that's all conjecture, isn't it? It's like how a team's going to structure up.
If Simpson plays on and kicks it, he'll end up about 55 metres out. Yeah. If you get a young guy, even Newman, big boot, right?
Yep.
Run, he might be able to pick up a good 10 metres and then kick it 50. You end up 60, you end up on the wing. You know what I mean? So depending on how they go, I don't think Simpson being old, and yes, he's accurate, but I don't see them doing a little 20-metre chip like they used to have to do, or play on and kick it 40 metres. I see it, he might not get as much. Whether that happens or not, I want to see, but I'm saying, I don't know, he's just old.
He's old, and look,
he's just old.
You could make any argument against him and say he's just old.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. At Father Time can finally catch up, and it couldn't happen quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't...
Get your super, mate.
But I mean, he's got the runs on the board. He had his best year ever last year. He had 5 games of 130 plus. I think at very least, what, his top 6?
Top 10. I can't say definitively he's top 6. People could overtake him.
I'm on the Simpsons. Is anyone else? Shout out on Twitch if you're
Witherden could overtake Simpson.
I don't know about that.
5-1 odds, but sure, Witherden could overtake Simpson.
I think there's a bet coming on. Witherden versus Simpson.
5-1?
No. I'm not taking 5-1.
5-1?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, if you win, I'll give you $10. If you lose, you give me 50.
That's not a great bet for me.
I think it's accurate odds, though.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's accurate odds.
Anyway, now we'll move on from Simpson. I think he's going to be a good option, but it's each to their own. I think he's going to be a great draft, but I think he'll go early in draft. Whereas, you might not want to take him so high. We'll see how we go. Oh, come on, man. I'm talking a lot. Do you want to talk more? Here. All right. Now, the only real last premium to really talk about is Mark Murphy, but I don't really see him as a premium anymore. He's more of a mid-price. He's 501k. It just looks like he's done, and I think that his minutes in midfield will go down with, again, the addition of all these new mid-talent.
Do you remember the year he was actually killing it?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, 111 or 114 or something averaged. I just think it's time to avoid Murphy. I think that we can't rely on Mark Murphy for decent Supercoach scores this year.
Here's my theory.
What's that?
I'm going to treat him the same as Lockie Murphy.
Never ever.
Just avoid him.
Avoid Murphys in general.
All Murphys.
So
never trust.
Says Simpson, no thanks. Williamson and Newman play more time there potentially, and we will get to them. They are on my list as well. The only other one I put in here is that they are premium price, but never touching him ever again is Ed Kernow, so he can go get stuffed.
Smith also said we could be right about Cripps playing more forward.
This is true.
Yeah, Fisher, Dow, Kennedy, Kernow, Walsh, Stoker. You could be right about Cripps playing more forward. Yeah,
exactly
fair.
right.
That's fair.
And a lot of those are inside types. That's the thing. So they've definitely recruited because they want to take the pressure off Cripps, which is a smart move. And he's, 194? He's a big boy.
Apparently he's doing less of the impressive pull downs and a little bit more of the Pilates.
Is he just trying to stretch his body? I don't get it.
Better reach.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
For the marking.
Good one.
You
can do visual jokes now. We're on Twitch and
YouTube.
Check out our channels.
I was supporting your forward theory.
Yeah, I like it. So here's the thing with Ed Kernow, because I just want to say this once, and I'll never talk about Ed Kernow.
You can talk about Ed Kernow all you like. Charlie Kernow,
Ed Kernow averaged 114 over his first 10 games.
Wait for it. What did I tell you by that point?
Yeah, in the 11th game is when I traded him in.
I said, when you brought him in, no, he's a great option, he's consistent. I was like, dude, he's going to average... I want to listen back, because I said he's going to average you like 107 for the year. And what did he drop to, Chris?
Oh, way worse. Way worse.
I said he was going to drop.
Here's Ed Kernow for you. The game I was going to trade in Patrick Cripps, right? The game I was going to do it. Patrick Cripps goes 54 and he looks like he's been absolutely hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah, I said get on him.
Kernow goes 120 or 130 or something. I'm like, yeah, all right, here's the thing. He's going to take over the midfield. It's going to be fantastic. Let's get on the Ed train. Trade him in. He goes 90.5 over the next 11 games. 90.5.
Even Barry averaged more.
It was so bad. So I will never, ever say a positive word about Ed Kernow again.
I was skeptical. For everyone that was listening, I was skeptical. So Swizz actually has a great question that we'll get to. It's
rank these guys as draft options, which is Sam Fisher, Paddy Dow, and Sam Petrescu-Seton.
Oh, jeez.
So we will have a look at that because they're in my next little area on mid prices.
That's tough too. Yeah. But yeah, I did warn you about Ed Kerr now.
I've literally got written here, Burn Man Never Again. Let's see if we can get that up on the screen.
Speaking of...
Burn Man Never Again.
Get in there. Did I see some swear words here?
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
That's great. Anyway, so I did warn you though when you tried to pick him. I said he's a bad option.
I tried to think outside the box, bro.
Bad option.
His stats were incredible.
I don't care about his stats.
I try not to go with my gut feel, and everyone was getting on Cripps. I'm like, nah, he's gone. Look, did you watch the game?
There comes a point, right, where Bryce Gibbs does well, and you go, surely it's not going to last. And that was the exact feeling I had about Ed Kerr now.
Yeah, probably.
And you were riding the hype train.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, no, but the stats are good. For 11 games, he's killed it.
He was in like 2% of teams as well. I thought I could take it.
2% too many.
Yeah, apparently. Exactly right. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, fair call.
All
Go
right.
on.
Let's jump on the mid prices and we'll try and... There is quite a few, so we'll try and get through these as quickly as possible. But like I said, there are a lot of Carlton players that are relevant this year, especially in draft, but in some standard. Knock it off with Alex Fasolo. That's the first one. I don't think he's going to be at all draft relevant. I would be surprised if he even gets regular games. He can get you the odd ton, but nah, not for me. He's 250k, which means that he's almost rookie price. So yeah, if you think that he's going to play 10 games of the first 10 rounds, he might be someone that you have on there as, say, an F5 or something.
Yeah, if anything, just watch him. If you're in an 18-man draft league, I don't mind it as one of your last bench picks. Yeah. You should be able to get him so late it doesn't even matter.
True.
Otherwise, just watch him. If he starts to show some good signs, then yes. But even then, like he averaged 80-odd with a couple of good 100 games for Collingwood when they were actually winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Carlton don't win games. So, I mean, no offence, but yeah, definitely not a good option, I feel. So
definitely not, and I think you're right there. Now, I just want to show the people at home here a little bit of a person I like to call Charlie Curnow.
A bit of a vendetta by the looks of it.
I've got a bone to pick with him, that's all I'm saying. So I'm just going to flick over to the webpage here, and we're going to have a quick squiz. Hold on one moment. Here we go. And let's transition that over. Beautiful. So we're looking at, this is a website called footywire.com.
Yep, I love Footywire.
And we use it for a lot of our stats for SuperCoach. Very relevant. But if you scroll down here and you can have a look at his round values. Look at this run that he had. 110, 108, 38. Classic. 114. And then he just drops off a cliff. 36, 107, 56, 81, 48, 28.
28 was the winner for me.
They couldn't take a mark, couldn't do anything, couldn't kick the ball, couldn't get the ball, by the way.
Petrarca only needed, was it 12 or 16 to beat you in the bet? It was so good.
He's just frustrated because he's got so much potential and he can win games.
Well, he started off so well. 126, 96, 86, 76, 73, 86.
Look at those first 6 rounds.
Oh, mate, I was toast in our bet. I was toast until those last 4 rounds.
So good.
But, yes.
So yeah, he's
just
dropped off a cliff here, and it just really upset me. So
that being said, 77.5 natural growth. He could be a very good draft option, but I would not pick him in standard.
Exactly.
Would you go there, Chris, or was it all Curnows? All Curnows done.
No, I'll never again. I will be skipping on him. Bet Burn. No way. No chance. Maybe a draft. If he's available in draft, and I've got no one else to pick, and I have to go him, I'll go him. But that's about it. Like I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
I'd go him.
It hurt me too much.
I'd go him because I love him now.
Yeah, right. Now, Zach Fisher is someone that I think eventually will be a premium selection. I think he's absolutely amazing. But it's just a matter of time. He offers something that not a lot of the other mids do, which is why I like him. So Zach Fisher has just got that explosiveness and that turn of pace that they haven't drafted other players into that role. A lot of their players are fairly one-paced. You've got him and you've got SPS that have that real get up and go. Outside of that, they're very one-pace, big body midfielders. Then you've got Paddy Dow, who's a little bit more that sort of silky skills. He's small, but whatever. So we'll see how that goes there. But I really do like Zach Fisher. He's 392k forward mid. I don't know about standard, but definitely a draft option. Definitely draft option.
Yep, no, I'm pretty keen.
Probably a little bit expensive to be wanting to take a risk on him, so we'll see.
Yeah, no.
Sam Petrescu-Seton, I actually thought last year would be a breakout year for him, and I'm really hoping it does. he has played 42 games entering his third year, and he's still averaging what he's averaging, which is depressing.
Third year's the year, though, mate. Third year
so it could be a third year breakout.
The only anomaly usually, I mean, Oliver, and there's only a handful of others that are second year breakout. Normally it's a bit, up and down.
I think he's averaging 67 at the moment, which is just not nearly enough. So again, a draft smoky, but I'm not really sold on it.
But you think about it, the better everyone gets around him, the worse his opponents will be.
Yeah. The other thing is, he's forward only, which is insane. So he needs to be around the ball more. So that could just be Carlton killing him, not getting any mid-time. And now they've just drafted more mids that should also get mid-time. So where's Sam's mid-time going to come? And for that reason, I think he's last on the list, Swizzy Taylor, in terms of draft selections. I'd probably put him last, just because I just don't know when he's going to get mid-time, or if he's going to get mid-time. So
who would be your first then, Fisher or Dow?
So we've got... I would definitely take Fisher, but what is it between? So it's between
Fisher, Dow,
SBS.
Sam.
I'd take Fisher, because I think that he offers something that's completely different, that and he can play in a wing, or he can play half forward as a link player, and his score's not necessarily a result of being inside the play. Dow proved that I think he is definitely a midfielder and not a forward last year. He needs to get more mid-time as well, but he's just doesn't have the frame. So if he gets more mid-time this year, that'd be great, but I'm not sold on it yet.
Off-season? I want to see him. No, I want to see a photo of him.
I want to see some JLT footage.
I want to see him about 5 kilos heavier.
Right now, for me, it's Zach Fisher, Paddy Dow, SPS.
And I'm going Dow, Fisher, SPS.
Okay.
Just because, just a bit of the footage, some of his marking ability up on the, lead up and actually holding onto a few. I don't mind him. And he still slotted a couple of goals, so I think he has a little bit more upside. Yeah. Fisher's probably the safer bet, but based on the upside, I'm going Dow.
Paddy Dow could be an actual smoky in standard as well. Yep. He's cheap enough. He's $323K
Can
he
do an Oliver?
Well, he might do. He might have a massive burst out. I mean, it's all relying on his midfield minutes, right? So if in the JL, he could come out in the JLT and average 85, 90 in the JLT, and then you go, okay, well, I can consider him a nice, decent mid-price option.
Well, hopefully he doesn't, and hopefully I'm watching the JLT before half-time.
Yeah. He definitely needs to get in the gym more, that's for sure.
Hey, Chris, before half-time, like when you stole Oliver from me.
Swizz Taylor said, rank these: Phillies draft process, Carlton, the Australian batting lineup.
Wow.
Well, I think we'd all know where the Australian batting lineups were.
Hang on. Jeez. I don't even know where to rank them. Well,
I think that at least the Phillies are winning now.
Okay, so I'm going to say Phillies first.
Yeah.
Then Carlton, based on the fact that... God knows. I'm going to say... No, sorry. Phillies, because they're getting it right.
Hey,
the Australian batting...
they won 1 in 4,
The
right? Australian
batting lineup, yes, they have a 25% win ratio, so better than Carlton. Carlton last, based on the fact that, Australia will get their players back in March, so it's only a short-term problem, and Carlton has a long-term problem.
That is unfortunate for you and the clock. No, good one, by the way.
Jesus, that's some banter.
And one there is Charlie Curnow versus DeGoey going forward. Okay, so in SuperCoach terms, I'm taking DeGoey every day of the week.
I'm with this guy.
In terms of impact on games,
Charlie Curnow could go massive, but the swing's too high. Like, even DeGoey can still get some massive scores.
But DeGoey, really, he's never going to get it. But he, at some point, needs to play midfield. He's too good to be sitting in a forward pocket for the rest of his career. But they just drafted in Dane Beams.
Well, he's too good to be...
There's no way he's getting more mid-minutes.
He's too good to be re-signing contracts playing forward pocket.
That's true. He wants to play midfield.
I wonder if... He re-signed before Dane Beams came over. I wonder if Dane Beams had come over, would he have re-signed?
That's an interesting...
He would have been like, another guy in the midfield, I'm going to go sign elsewhere now.
But they could have promised him mid-minutes. So they could have said, we're going to give you 10% more mid-time or something. So, who knows?
They could promise the world, doesn't mean he's getting it. I mean, look at Jared Lyons.
He's one of their most dynamic midfielders. He can change a game like that. Like, that's what I don't understand. Why isn't he getting more mid-time? They've got enough people, especially with Jamie Elliott now back. Your Dane Beams now back and can play forward.
Why am I not getting more mid-time? My dog's getting more mid-time. I actually see DeGoey switching a bit...
DeGoey dog joke.
Yeah. I actually see DeGoey switching up with Dane Beams a bit more.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in the next pod.
Forward mid. Yeah, that's my pod.
Chill out with that.
That's my pod.
But I'm taking DeGoey for the SuperCoach, and I'm taking Charlie Curnow for pure game impact.
Yes.
I think he's...
So for those that are listening to this later, whether it's on Spotify or even just SoundCloud or whatever,
iTunes,
on the audio,
tune in, PlayerFM, you name it, we're on it.
Rattling off names. So if we do happen to just quickly change topic, it's because on Twitch we are getting live contributions. So if you don't want to wait a few days to listen to us when we actually upload the audio, then please follow us on Twitch and join in live. Like, I am stoked that we got some people commenting.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, hey.
It is.
It's great to have 10
Chris was in charge of all this. I just kind of was like, what, you want to do Twitch?
I'm going to be honest with you, I spent a lot of time researching this stuff.
Yeah,
it's taken up quite a few hours of my spare time. So
when Chris said he wanted to do Twitch, I just thought he had something wrong with his eye. Yeah,
Shrek joke.
Yeah.
Right. Now that concludes that part of the segment, but there's a couple more mid-prices I want to go through.
There's more to talk about, Carlton.
Cruiser.
Oh, Cruise on by.
So you're saying a big flat no, and I'm guessing it's because of his body, right?
Well, I'm saying a big flat no because he's literally one irregular heartbeat away from a flat line. Although I did comment,
someone make jokes about him potentially dying.
Actually, yeah, sorry.
He did have minor surgery to fix I think it might have been a murmur, something in his heart.
I do digress. Someone commented, for those that don't know, I put out a little post yesterday, a bit of a mock, like Burn Man kind of mid-price madness. I was more just interested to see how far you could spread your money, so I put out a little mock team. You want to throw that up, Chris, or is that too far away?
No, it's
on our Facebook.
Not far away.
Anyway, so we're going through, and I had to put Danger in. Even if you don't want him, you have to start with Dangerfield. So it was like Danger Man plus the Burn Man 2.0 team. And, geez, I had some absolute doozies in it. Cruiser was in there, and a couple of guys were commenting on Cruiser being like, oh, surely, you can't pick Cruiser. And I was like, it's okay. I spoke to the Carlton board, and they're carrying around defibs. The runners are carrying around defibs with them.
Pretty full on.
And then some guys on Twitter got really offended, being like, oh, Dustin Martin's not a burn, man. I'm like, well, it's more based on they were expected to perform and they didn't. So it was the expectation team that did not perform.
We'll flick on over.
Throw it over onto Twitch.
Get in there with a fade. Look at that.
Look at that little fade up. So anyway,
have a look at that
if they can see that. But yeah, it was more the expectations versus what they delivered. And yeah, it's a pretty good side though. So I'm sure there's quite a few people in there, but yeah, don't get your panties in a twist if you don't like it. It's just a bit of fun.
I mean, look, I understand the Zach Williams call because he was injured last year. So
I know. Expectation was early expectation was he was going to do well.
Yeah,
but I'm actually surprised how far your money goes. You're looking at only one rookie in the midfield, one rookie in defence.
The problem is that
the rest of it's amazing.
It leaves you with, that sort of team leaves you in a hole if four of them don't perform.
I might just leave them aside.
No, you're not. Don't be an idiot.
That'd be hilarious.
You know what you could do? Set up a burner team and just see how it goes through the year.
That would be funny.
But you're not allowed to run two. Just so we don't advocate this. You're not allowed to run two Supercoach teams.
I'm not winning money, Chris. Who are we kidding?
Anyway. Yeah, you're ineligible if you run two teams.
I do apologise. Yes, Cruiser. They're carrying around defibs. The runners are.
Yes.
So.
No, so I'm just going to quickly jump on. Get a little bit of a highlight reel for Matthew Cruiser here. Let's Matthew.
Chris, if
Cruiser.
you didn't plan it, pan it.
If you didn't what?
I don't know what that means, but
Matthew
it sounds
Cruiser highlights.
I just want you
to understand how good Cruiser is.
I know he's amazing. He was the highest averaging ruckman for 1 year and a decade. Doesn't mean you have to select him.
Let's just watch it all. Okay, so while this is playing. So here's the thing about Matt Cruiser is that he's only 432k this year, and there's really two ruckmen you should be looking at like in terms of premium rucks, and it's Grundy, Gawn, right? If you're looking outside of that, it's who's going to provide you the most value and who's going to average the most out of the other ones, right?
Goldstein.
So I like Goldie as a choice. Someone who's also interested is Nankervis, but those two are premium ruckmen. They're 550k-ish. All thereabouts. You got Cruiser at 430k, a little bit more value. You can do a little bit more with the cash. You then got Longer and Mason. Those are pretty much your options. I think that Cruiser is a great option, considering he's got the runs on the board in terms of his scoring ability. However, it's his body. Is he going to get you enough games as a stepping stone, or is he going to be the next best ruck? He has not missed a session this off season. So after he had surgery, has not missed a session at all. I think he could do anything. I'm excited about it.
Well, he could do anything. He could be the next women's AFL coach because he won't be playing football.
You say like it's a bad thing.
I'll tell you what, Lob has a better chance of playing this season than Cruiser.
No, he's going to be there.
Okay, I do joke. I am with you there. Cruiser is a good option. My point is that you're looking at Longer. I feel being the only ruck that's probably worthy at Saints now that Hickey is gone. They used to switch it between the two. He's cheaper. He can get you the odd 100, and I'm just hoping he gets a couple of hundreds in a row to spike his price so I can then see.
Oh, look at that grab!
See
that grab?
Oh, get out! Stop your highlights, Chris.
God, I'm a big Cruiser fan. Just in case anyone was wondering, I do love.
He does. He normally buys them by the carton. The odd vodka cruisers.
Good one. And of course, so
switch it back. Enough of Cruiser. Come on, Chris.
We done with Cruiser?
Yeah, be professional, mate. Get your stuff together.
Fair enough. I could just watch this all day. Let's be fair. All right, let's head on back. So the other one, and a big conjecture over, is Nick Newman. So I am not on the train yet. I don't think that Nick Newman. He may not even play round one. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, well Dockie's down. Nick Newman straight in, bang. He might not even play round one. But he might not be the option that they look towards.
Chris, you're funny.
Well, you think he will play round one?
He went from being in and out of Sydney, who were a good side.
Yep.
Now he's at Carlton. As if they're not going to play him. He could play on the wing, he could play in the midfield, he could play out of defence. Carlton are going to use him.
Potentially. Well, I don't know. They've got
someone has to agree
Tom Williamson as well, who could slot straight into that role. Who knows what's going to happen there? But I don't think personally that's going to happen. That's just my opinion. Look, last 4 games of the season, he averaged 91.5. What's a pass? Like, if you do pick him, what's a pass mark? What do you think he can average? And he's 394k. So it's pretty much around what you would get for Zach Williamson.
Oh no, I wouldn't be picking him in standard. I think Nick Newman probably go an 87 average at best. 87, 88 at best.
88.
Yeah.
Okay, so
draft looking
definitely
at
not
standard.
top 10 material, right?
Not standard, no, not top 10.
So he's a stepping stone then?
Correct. I wouldn't start him in standard.
Expensive stepping stone.
I wouldn't start him in standard.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for standard, and a lot of people have him in standard. A lot of people. I think he'll be a very highly percentage player.
Problem is, he has a high ceiling, which he might get.
He does have a high ceiling.
But then Carlton don't generally, outside of Simpson.
I think it's fair that he averages 85. I just don't know if that's good enough to have him warranted in a standard team.
No.
So that's
what I said, draft, 87, 88 at best for me. So, 85 is reasonable.
I'm hoping from a 95 from Zach Williams.
Yeah.
That's ambitious, but I think that he could do it. And he's 13k more? I think if you're looking at someone around that price, unless you're going a super cheap midfield, like defence, where you've got Harris Andrews, Witherden, Nick Newman, Williams.
I think Newman has to be 100k cheaper to be viable.
Yeah. And look, the only other thing I've got here is ones to watch. I will watch Zach Fisher heavily in the preseason of JLT and see his form and what role he's playing, because I think that he could be a breakout, and he's at that price where you could potentially select him. Tom Williamson, again, 189k defender. If he gets the nod ahead of Newman, he'll be locked into my side for round 1. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I've just put down here players to avoid. Dale Thomas. So I think, I know he re-signed for an extra year, but I don't think he'll be playing many games this year.
Is he defender status now?
I
think because he played a lot of defence, so I think you're right. I think it would be.
I'll have a look. So we've got... Here we go. Yeah, Dale Thomas defender.
Yeah. So even then for draft, I wouldn't even be that interested. Fair call. I would avoid Dale Thomas.
Yeah. Now, if they don't choose to play Williamson or what's his stupid name, Nick Newman, then and they play Dale Thomas ahead of both of them, maybe draft, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm avoiding at all costs. And the other one to avoid is Ed Kerner, the biggest burn man of all year.
Ed Kerner still provides draft value, but the problem is that he still averaged 100, so you might get the better end of it or you might lose out. So it's a tough one to really notice. So
so Swizz on his rucks.
How long the pie's going to take? Not long, because I'm doing it, Swizz.
On how he rates the rucks, he said Grundy, then Gawn, Nank, Goldie, Cruiser Longer. That in order in terms of how he's ranked them.
Nank.
That's fair.
Goldie Cruiser.
I like
I'll go Goldie over Nank.
I think Nank's got another gear and he's young. He's only 24, turning 25.
Yeah, but he runs out of gas.
Nank doesn't have a tank. But that's not necessarily the case. The problem with Richmond, especially this year, is that when Nank went off, they had no option.
Yeah.
They're playing Sean Green.
Well, now what are they going to do?
So you had to play 90% time on ground.
Well, now what are they going to do?
I don't know. Maybe Tommy Lynch can get in there.
Oh. Specky.
Who knows?
Anyway,
that's signing us off from the Carlton podcast.
Signing us off.
Again, if you want to catch us on all of our socials, facebook.com/SC Insider. Twitter is at SC _insider_.
Correct.
And we're now on all major podcasting channels as well as Twitch and YouTube.
Yes, happy days. So next we'll do Collingwood, and that will be me because Chris will be muzzled.
Thanks,
I think
guys.
I said that last time, but with Carlton in.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
exactly right. Catch you
soon.
guys. Bye.